Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ashley and I'm an architect in Ontario, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what I learned during my master's degree in architecture at UBC. Now, I learned three main lessons that I carry into my career as being an architect, and I want to share those with you and they could help you on your journey as well. So if you're interested, let's get started. Number one, embrace the process. Now, this is something I really learned while I was at UBC, especially for the design projects and design studio. It's something that I had not noticed before, and it was highlighted during the time at UBC, especially the studio projects, in that I was always so fixated on the final product, what that building will look like as its completed entity, rather than focusing on the process of getting there. And then from that process, you would get that building that's an expression or a result of that process. And so prior to that, I was just so focused on what that final outcome will be and how that building will look like, rather than the process itself. And what I learned from focusing on the process is there's so much you can learn from that process, and you can gain so many different ideas. Like, what if you did it this way? You can look back at your process and see where you can improve on that process, get more ideas, and that really helps that final outcome of that building, and it gives it a stronger story as well than just being something that's based on your preconception of what it should be rather than what it's meant to be. And so for me, that was something that really was a really important impact as a designer that really changed me quite a bit, and it changed the way that I saw design and putting together a building that I still follow to this day, and how important that process is and having that storyline to it, and that everyone really loves to see the process and to feel connected with the building. So when it has that story and that process, people really connect with it a lot better versus just showing that final product. You're not reinventing the wheel. Now, this is something, again, I also learned in a way the hard way, and it's something so simple, but I don't know why, but it just resonated with me during when I was doing my master's degree, is that a lot of times you think that you're reinventing something, you're creating something new. This is a new idea. Let's be real here, it's not. It's been invented somewhere. Someone came up with a similar idea. And so it's a humbling lesson to think that you're not reinventing something. There is most likely that idea somewhere else, and to acknowledge that is really important, and to do that research, understand what that idea is all about, understand the shortfalls of the idea, and then take that idea and make it better. And how could you improve upon that idea? And I think that was something I really learned, and until this day, I still follow that, and I still remember that lesson to this day and how important it was. The truth is too that it saves a lot of time as well, because instead of thinking that you're reinventing something, you should think that that is already out there, and so you might as well look and research that topic, see who else has topics and interests and has done a lot of work on that particular topic, and then look at ways of making that better or improving upon that idea and evolving that idea, taking that research, of course referencing that research. You're not copying, but you're looking at making that your own and improving upon it, and really building it or changing it or going in a different direction, whatever it might be. But to think that you're reinventing something is not the way to go either. So I thought that was very helpful, and it helped me even through my thesis, and it even helps me today in my career as well. Failing is good. Experiment. This is something I definitely learned, and it's something that you know, at first, I mean, sometimes you don't have the time to experiment or use that excuse. Maybe that's what it is. But with design, it's all about experimenting and it's about failing too. And it's about being okay with it. And I think that was something that I was a little bit timid about and afraid of. And then I was really encouraged to actually fail and to experiment, and that it's okay that that experiment failed. You actually learn more from the failed experiments than you do from the experiments that go through in one shot. What can you do in that experiment? Sometimes, and this is so true, but the failed experiments are actually more exciting. And technically, they're not really failed experiments because they actually evolve to better ideas and they make you see things in a different light, or they make you think about it differently. That, again, that's where that process comes into place as well. And so experimenting is so important, and to not have this fixed idea of what it should be, because a lot of that is preconceived notions you might have and biases. And so to have an open mind with design and to go into it with the mentality of experimenting and trying out different ideas and testing out ideas. And you know, the failed experiments might actually lead to even better ideas and other experiments. And so to not see it in such a negative way, but to actually embrace it, was something that I really learned during the time that I was at UBC. And it's something that I never really thought about until I was in the program, because I guess from my undergrad, that wasn't something that was really embraced in a way. So when I got into my master's, and I'm like, now I, just go for it, experiment and go fail, that just having that encouragement to do so really just made you think about and reevaluate, why didn't I do this long before, right? So I thought that was something that I definitely gained from the program, and I learned a lot from, and I still use a lot of these lessons today, and it just has changed me as a designer since I went through the program. And I had a wonderful time at the program, and these are lessons that I still take on till this day. And comment down below if there are other lessons that you learned during your time of your undergrad, your master's. What did you learn from the program that you still use today as a designer or as an architect? Let me know down below. I'd love to know what the lessons that you learned. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video. And of course, if you would like to support the channel, make sure to subscribe, and you can do that here. And if you'd like to learn more about my experience at UBC, you can check out this video here. I hope to see you on the next video. Until then, bye!